Out of ABX, Speed Villain, Burn Season, 8/23/2023. The rotation we're going to be using is with Green Goblin with the red uniform, 2 delayed cancel, 3, 5, 4. You let 4 play out. 2 delayed cancel, 3, 5, 4, 6. You can use 6 every other rotation. This works great for a Judgment or a Rage. I'll show you really quick, and then I'll give you more information afterwards. Let me hide the rotation. Let's go. All right, switch. 2, go through. 3, spike, 5, 4. Let 4 play out. I'm going to put 1 as a filler. 2, slide through. 3, wait for the spike. 5, 4, 6. Let 6 play out. You can sneak a 1 in if you want. 2, 3, spike, 5, 4. I did get interrupted there. It's okay, just continue with the rotation. 2, strike through. 3, look for the spike. 5, 4, 6. And you're basically going to rinse and repeat. Usually after the 6, I'll go right into the 2 next. 5, 4. And I only use the 1 if it's if I'm not using the 6, because usually the 6 plays for long enough that you can screw up your procking. All right, so he's about to roar. He's going to center. I'm going to wait for just a second. Let him jump center. Look for that pawl. And I'm going to go 2, 3, get a spike, 5, 4. And then that will cancel because of the burn. And I do a 1 as a filler. 2, 3, spike, 5, 4, 6. Do you see that spike popping up on that 3? You want to wait for that. 2, do the slash, 3, spike, 5, 4. My procs are falling off a little bit. There's my 1 filler. I'm starting a proc there. He's probably going to jump center, so I'm going to save my 6. Yeah, he's going to jump center. So again, slash through when he's doing that. And I should be able to get my cancel in here. Got the cancel in and got to use my 6. So I delayed the 6 there. Sometimes you got to alter your rotation just a hair based upon where the beast is and how close he is to roaring. Pay attention to the countdown timer. I'm using a controller to play with. I find it easier. Okay. I did forget to do my filler 1 there, but it's not going to make or break it. He should be jumping center here. I probably could have held on to a 6 again. That's okay. I can still sneak this off. And because the 5, 4 also cancels. Got the cancel barely. Do pay attention to that. All right. Almost done. We got all 3 cancels. You want to get your cancels in. If you do not cancel, it will affect your score. All right, this should be it. It's going to stop right here. All right, so 10.5 million. Now, information, teams, my account build, and all that good stuff. So 10.5 million is not an exceptional score by any means. I'm aware of that. I don't have a lot of Pierce on my cards, and I could probably do a lot better if I had a better account. Now, with that in mind, let me write down my score because I always track these. So information, so 10.5, that's not too bad. I'm okay with that score. Let's talk about teams, and I'll talk about my account. Your account and your character builds, if you're new to MFF, play a huge role into how effective your score can go, how high your score can go. So I'll talk about my cards real quick. I'll talk about builds. I'll talk about the characters I used and why. So this is what's going on with my cards right now. So here's my card stats. So I don't even have max Pierce. I only have 16%. That does affect your score. My all attack isn't super high, and my physical attack isn't really that high either. I don't think that's necessarily going to affect Goblin. I can't remember if he's a physical attacker or not off the top of my head. Let's go to Goblin. He is a tier 3 character, so he's right here, Green Goblin. I'm running the red, so he is an energy attacker, so yeah, it wouldn't affect it. So this is the best uniform for him. There are other options out there, but for today we're just going to be talking about Red Goblin's uniform. With this rotation, you want to use a Judgment. I've got a Mighty Judgment on mine. The type amplification here is preferred to the all attack. If you have a normal judgment, that's fine as well. Mighty judgment, of course, is better. Idealistically, you want a brilliant. Rage is good, but apparently for Red Goblin, based upon most of the people I talk to, it is better to have a judgment over a rage for this particular character. When you are building this character, his artifact is not really critical, but it's helpful. It is going to increase all basic attacks, so he does do more damage. So having a higher star artifact and increasing the level are all good things to consider for Red Goblin. The ISO 8 set, it's going to be completely dependent on what your build is and how high your stats are, if you need more all attack or speed attack, whatever. The main thing to consider with your ISO 8 set is make sure you maximize all of them to 6-star Awakening, and make sure it's an attack set. So Overdrive, POA, or Hawkeye if you need cooldown. But usually Overdrive and POA are the 2 attack sets I go for most of my ABX and ABL characters. Type Enhancement, get that as high as you can. Skills, I like to max out. Some people say you don't need to. It's up to you, but I always max out my skills. You want to try to amplify your stats if you can, and you at least want to get a 5-star Uru. Sometimes you can get a 6-star Uru. That's even better. Odin's Blessings, bump them a little bit further. That's up to you. You do want him at tier 3, of course. He is an energy attacker. Uniform, if you can, get mythic options. So those of you who are not familiar with this outfit, just to show you really quick, you have this chain increase attack, and you have this fire damage stuff. And of course the skills are changed. The uniforms that you need are Captain Marvel's, Marvel Avengers Endgame, Athena's Marvel Studios Eternals, Spider-Man No Way Home, Cyclops Modern, and Thanos Obsidian King. So picking your stats here are all going to be based upon trying to get your stats maxed out. So if you go to the details tab, idealistically I want max critical rate and max dodge, especially if I'm using a rage, because it actually amplifies the rage. With a judgment, they're not necessarily as important, but having that critical rate up higher is actually a good idea. You do want to try to cap your attack speed, crit rate, crit damage. Ignore defense and cooldown need to be capped for all characters, period. Movement speed is helpful for him because he moves around the board a lot and he's pretty quick. And then, of course, your energy attack doesn't have a cap, so do as much there as you can. Team considerations, basically any sort of a leadership that can benefit him. He can actually be his own lead and you can double support him. What I ended up deciding to do here is I ended up going with Black Cat. Now, I know not everybody has Black Cat's uniform, but Black Cat has an incredible lead as well as a passive support, and I do have an insight on her. So putting an insight on one of your lead characters or support characters is very beneficial. In this case, I have Black Cat with the insight. Kraven is probably the best support option with this uniform. You do want to have this uniform if you're using Kraven as a support. You can use other characters such as Mystique for support. I mean, there are other options that you can do on Speed Villain Day as well, but I find this, because he is a Sinister 6 character, this uniform buff is actually really, really, really good. I would put an insight on Black Cat over Kraven just for the simple fact that Kraven's pretty much only usable with Sinister 6 characters, where you could potentially use Black Cat with other villain characters as well. So that's real high level, kind of my breakdown on the rotation I do for today, which is Speed Villain Burn Day. Hopefully that's useful. Feel free to drop some likes below, and I'll continue to do these videos since I feel like we are lacking on some ABX, ABL videos for Marvel Future Fight that kind of talk you through it. There are other rotation considerations. People play how they want to play. This is just how I go about it. Have fun, and best of luck in getting your ABX score as high as possible.